Hey everybody, Average Picker here. So yeah, we're back at a bit of the old format. I did figure out where to position the camera. I just haven't. I cannot get this camera positioned that way. But if I could come in this angle, that would be probably the best view for everybody. I'm going to work that out, and I'll try to set a little after Christmas as my deadline for that. But in the meantime, we're going to pick this lock by Thumper. The one full of warnings, lots of warnings to pick it clockwise. I don't even know what the name of this lock is. I'm just going to call it the clockwise lock, because it has so many warnings about that. And we will see what we can get here, because it was bugging me last night. I'm like, why do I have to pick this thing clockwise? What's going on? So hopefully we can get it picked here and find out why. Some tricky lifts in the back of that lock there. Got a bit of a false going on. Anything up front here? Oh, well, that gave us a little more feedback and a little more false. But yeah, Thumper, I got the lock I wanted for you laid out last night. It's just not finished. We are in, and I will get it finished up, I guess, tonight, and then I'll get a package off to you as soon as I can. I'm going to scoot this camera back a little bit and get a little bit of an angle for gutting going. We do have a key. It is mummified, and we've got lots of warnings to pick it clockwise. Let's assume the key works. We'll go ahead and do that to get the lock it up to get the tailpiece off. I've got a lot of stuff I've got to get done today because I did crap yesterday. Some days you just gotta sit around and not do much. While I'm taking this apart, I will mention, because I'm sure some of you are into auto racing and stuff, I did watch the Ford versus Ferrari movie, and yeah, it was better than I expected. But I mean, it's fairly predictable. I mean, there's a big spoiler alert. We kind of know what happens because it's historical based. But the Le Mans, the 24-hour Le Mans, is the only sport, I guess. Wow, yeah, it won't go to the left at all. What's going on in there? Should probably shim this. It is the 24-hour Le Mans is really one of the only sports I keep up with and follow, and so it was kind of cool to go watch. But there's some stuff in there. If you don't, I mean, I'm not talking inaccuracies. It's not 100% accurate, actually, but yeah, there's some stuff in there that if you don't understand the Le Mans, you may find a bit confusing. I think one of the big ones being, they kept talking about Shelby having won the Le Mans before, but then they keep talking about Ferrari having dominated Le Mans, and it is true, Ferrari did dominate Le Mans, but in their class, and so it's possible to win at Le Mans, but not be the overall winner. You can win in your class, and I'm pretty sure that's what Carroll Shelby had done. But it's a little weird when you hear, oh, he won, but then you keep hearing Ferrari dominates and wins every time. It's like, well, how can you have all these winners? So yeah, there's some little things like that going on in there. It, from a just pure racing standpoint, God, these pins, the keys, having some issues here. Just from a racing standpoint, it's not as pure racing as as say the older movie Le Mans is, but then that really is just a movie love song to the 24-hour Le Mans. And this is almost Ford versus Ferrari is almost more of a Ken Miles tribute story. We do have lots of threading every single chamber. Every chamber is threaded. But it's cool. I'm hoping, I do hope that it creates some more interest in the Le Mans road race. And the rights last year were transferred, and it's incredibly difficult, once again, incredibly difficult to actually watch the Le Mans here in the States, and that's too bad. It used to be really difficult. Then the apps came out and it got incredibly easy, and it was phenomenal, the coverage you could provide for yourself, and now it's back to being incredibly difficult again, even with the app, because it doesn't do the Le Mans here. So maybe it'll be different next year. We'll see. All right, but we're not here to talk about the 24-hour Le Mans, even though I could talk about it quite a bit. Let's flip the camera around and take a look at these pins. So there's our key with its bitting. It's weird, because this one really wanted to pick first, but now I see there was a pin dropping back in there that felt like you're just kind of running into a wall, and that was probably it. Something back in there. You can see we have all these clockwise only, we'll just call it clockwise only, warning signs, and man, these are some extensive pins. I am surprised looking at them though. If I had made a guess, I would have said you got a pin and pin going on back here. You can see that's not the case. We have no pin and pins. So just a simple little spooled guy there at the back is a key pin. That's such a big lift anyway. Chance you're going to fall into that is probably a little slim, but it's always good to have something on a pin in case it does, at least in my opinion. That's a neat little driver there. I mean, not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's, compared to some of the others, it's pretty cool though. It'd be really nice because if you did get it overset and that's slightly reduced up here, this would start to feel like you were into something that was just zero bitted. Again, nice little spooled out. Guy looked kind of like a bomb. That is some crazy tight serration work in there. Look at that. It's probably not going to play a part, but because that would be a huge lift, you'd probably have warning signs. But God, I love that little guy cut in right there at the base. That is, and that little reduction inside the spool element's pretty cool. And of course, all this stuff with these heavily threaded chambers are going to play an issue. I guess the reason you don't want it to pick this way is because you're going to fall into those construction holes. But I had trouble getting the key even to turn that way, which is kind of interesting. I could probably fill those construction holes for you if you want me to, man. Don't mind doing that. That's our number 5 driver. Very cool. Kind of just a base serrated. Yeah, I love these pins. These little barrel pins. These guys are really neat. This one, is this a manufactured one? To me, this looks manufactured. If you cut that, man, hats off to you, buddy. Hats off to you anyway. But I'm just saying, extra hat. We will put on a small hat after we hats off our normal hat to you. How does that work? Nice little spool there. I think we were living in that false set quite a bit probably from him. And this one's pretty neat. Look at that. That has a neat cut right there. That's just one of those neat little bits. Like you kind of get the basic pin shaped up, and then add in a little serration there. And it makes it pretty cool. But that's really cut nicely to the top of that thing. And of course a little reduced diameter kind of T-pinned top there. Let's take a look at our number 1 driver. Lightly serrated. But that's, you know, that is almost all it takes. It does not take deep serrations. I go for it all the time myself. I tend to cut these really deep serrations. But it doesn't take a whole lot to get the pin to hang up. Especially with all those nasty cuts in it. Let's take a look upstairs. Did I lose a spring? Or is he just sitting? No, he's just sitting pretty deep in there. I see him compressed. Does not look like anything was done to the top. There we go. Thumper. A few difference in there. Yeah, I find springs annoying to deal with. That's why I tend not to pull them out. Besides, that just differentiates my stuff a little bit, right? A little quirk. But there we go, Thumper. Clockwise only. Lock. So Thumper, thank you for pinning this up. That was a neat little bit of fun. Yeah, we do want to only go clockwise because we will easily drop that number 2 driver into those. Like I said, I can fill those up for you if you'd like me to. I've got some new paste I've been meaning to try. So let me know. If not, I'll leave it as it is and continue to send it out that way. That's fine too. But just in case you'd like that filled. And like I said, for whatever reason, the key didn't really want to turn it that way, and I'm glad it didn't. Because yeah, I would have dropped that driver into there with the key and been messed up. I figured your warning for picking clockwise only was, or clockwise only in general, was had more to do with picking it, less to do with using the key. So there we go, everybody. Thank you again, Thumper, and hope you all enjoyed, and have a good one.